How much did they first pay you to give up on your dreams?
27 grand a year.
And when were you going to stop and come back and do what makes you happy?
Good question.
People, they're basically subject to the curse of being great at something that they don't want to do anymore. I had the opportunity within 2 years of graduating college to work for very high-profile trailer companies. During that time, I was also editing the entire marketing campaign for The Passion of the Christ. On the other hand, I was being offered a low-budget independent film that was paying me flat fee $600 a week. 6 figures, super high-profile trailer job, $600 a week flat to work 90 hours a week on a film that nobody might ever see. As soon as I had that decision, I walked into my boss's office and I said, "You have my 30 days notice. I'm not working in trailers anymore."
Zach Arnold is an editor on one of Netflix's most watched shows, Cobra Kai. He cut for Burn Notice.
It's real. I'm thinking double D's.
And the over 40 times Emmy-nominated hit series Glee. He's part of the American Cinema Editors, and he's probably the fittest editor alive as he trains for the Ninja Warrior competition. One of his key messages to creators who want to go far with their career is this:
it's not as important what you're doing as where you're doing it and with whom.
So, in this video, we'll explore the 5 missteps that kill your chances to become a successful creative force before you even get started. Now, this video is brought to you by me, so no sponsor. I just plug my free mini course and recommend Zach's email guide at the end. Have fun watching the video.
Sorry, my daughter is in the middle of getting her car repaired. Like, she wants me to go, and I'm like, I'm not going.
I can't believe you're old enough to have a daughter that has a car.
3 years in college already.
That shocks me. You've taken good care of yourself.
Oh, thank you.
Misstep 1. Sending out mass emails.
I could create a system where I could send outreach to 100 people a day. That is an incredibly efficient use of my time in building my network. However, it's incredibly ineffective.
Don't you need to play the numbers?
If you're looking for the next paycheck, that's a really good strategy.
Hey, Paulie, what's up? Hey, listen, I quit.
But if you don't want to climb from the bottom rung to the top rung of the absolute wrong ladder for you, this approach still doesn't work. The very first person that I ever reached out to was Dahle Dorn. I saw Memento in the theater, once again dating myself, and Memento quickly became one of my top favorite films of all time. Before I literally even had furniture, I'm sitting in my studio apartment in Los Angeles, doing a search on Yahoo People Search. Who was it that edited Memento, found Dahle Dorn, and could not find contact information other than her mailing address? I hand wrote a physical letter and I mailed it to her, telling her how excited I was about the movie and her editorial choices, etc., etc. 6 months later, I get an email and a phone call. That relationship not only led to a shadowing opportunity where I sat in the room where she was working with Ridley Scott, and from there, somebody that I could reach out to every 3 to 6 months, and then within a couple of years after that, she was offered an independent film to cut. She wasn't available to cut it. Guess who the first person was that she referred for it? Almost every single door that I've had open for me that's been a game changer in my career has been opened by somebody else, where they just ushered me in almost effortlessly. All of the effort was put into building the right relationships with the right people so that I can just walk right through the door that they open, as opposed to I've got to take a jackhammer and try and open that door myself. In the pursuit of networking, it is so important to focus on quality and not quantity. If you actually want to be fulfilled by the work that you do and not constantly feel burned out and exploited, you have to be strategic literally from day one.
Misstep number 2. Pitching yourself to a client.
This is an area where I find that not only do many people get stuck, everybody gets stuck. We are all conditioned to believe that when we are putting ourselves out there, we think that the pitch is, here's why I'm the best fit for this opportunity. And that is absolutely the wrong approach. When you're in the process of surrounding yourself with your network, with your peer group, with your experts, with your mentors, you are the one that's on a journey and you are the one that's seeking a guide. Your mentors are your guides. However, when it's time for you to put yourself out in the world and find a job, I have bad news for you. You are not the hero anymore. They are on their hero's journey and they are seeking for a guide. So when you are in a service-based industry, the way that we are, when you have a craft and you have skills to bring to the table, they don't care about your hopes and dreams. They have a vision and they want to achieve that vision and they want to bring you on board to achieve their vision. You take that approach versus here's why I'm better than everybody else, I can promise you the game completely changes when you're looking for your next job.
Misstep 3. Focus solely on getting the gig.
When you're in the process of developing your skills and your craft and learning the software and learning all the ins and outs of workflows, all of that's great to get you to the starting line. Once you actually have the job, most people are going to assume that you already have all of those skills. If you want to turn this into a career, you also have to get really good at collaborating.
Your nose is broken.
How's it look?
That's an improvement.
With the higher that you get in the editing chair, you're going to be dealing with not just one director, not just one producer. You might have 3 showrunners and 5 executives, and they all have very different ideas about what they want and what the vision of the show might be. It's your job as editor/mediator/therapist to make sure that everybody's on the same page, because ultimately your job is to protect the story and protect the vision. That goes much deeper into really understanding, how can I understand what their problems are so I can become the solution? When editors say, I'm a storyteller, I can cut anything, automatically I don't believe that's true. As editors, we speak a whole lot of different languages, and the language and the pacing and the tone of character drama is very different than improv comedy, is very different than a music video. So we have to learn these different languages. That's a part of developing yourself as an editor over your career, as opposed to, nope, I'm an editor, I'm a storyteller, I'm done.
If you want to learn more about the...
Oops, now this is something that I could put in there, a placeholder where I'm supposed to shamelessly plug our free mini course, Secret Editing Hacks. And I'm proud to do it because it's a system that I developed over many years on how to set myself up every time to be really creative and come up with the best possible edit. It's not something that really relies on my talent, it's a system where I very much make sure that I find the best moments. I'm sharing it with you. You can have it for free if you go to secreteditinghacks.com. Leave your email there and then you'll get instant access. Thanks so much. Cheers. Back to Zach.
Misstep 4. Chasing gigs to pay the bills.
One of the most common things that I hear from people right out of school is, I will do anything. Problem is, if you're not very conscious about which ladder you're climbing, you put it against the wrong wall. Where this scares a lot of people is they think, you may not have to decide the rest of my life right out of school. Definitely not. What you need to do is decide what you're going to focus on next based on what you're the most passionate about and interested at the time.
To be honest, I didn't really have a strategy. I was just like, oh, this is an opportunity and I want to do that. Is that smart to just sort of go on a whim and listening to your heart?
You followed your intuition, and an intuition is very, very powerful.
See? You can do it.
Because I was working on the super low budget indie feature, I still needed to pay the bills. So I started freelancing in the short form trailer world. And there was this brand new company that I was working for. And there was one other editor there at the same time as me. And they asked both of us if we wanted to sign on full time with contracts. I said no, he said yes. Fast forward 8 years later, I went to go back and visit that company, which is now one of the top A-list trailer vendors in the entire world. He came up to me and he said,
I see that you're working in TV now and you're doing long form and you're doing all this cool stuff. I wish that I had said no when they asked both of us to sign on full time because I saw the money and I saw the prestige and I took it. I absolutely hate my life now. Like, I really wish that I had the courage to say no when you did.
You have to look at your career like a game of chess and not a game of checkers, not just making that next jump, but how does it factor into the larger chess game? It isn't always about I have to be in the exact right spot, but am I either gathering valuable skills or building a valuable network to get me to the next stages that I want to get?
Misstep 5. Doing it all by yourself.
But how am I to know the good side from the bad?
You will know when you're calm.
It is such a complex web of different things that you have to be focused on, things you should be doing, things you shouldn't be doing, and there's this giant gap of the things that you don't know that you don't know. Do you really want to spend the next 5 or 10 years developing skills that you don't need to go where you want to go next? The first thing to talk about here is the idea of creating your own mentor, using podcasts and using books and using online courses and using coaching communities to surround yourself with your peers so you can better understand how can we support each other in all these areas that I'm stuck. How can I surround myself with experts? It doesn't mean that if I'm an editor, the one expert I need to reach out to is Walter Murch. If you're right now an assistant editor and you want to become an editor at the same company that you're working for, your experts are anybody that's doing now what you want to be doing next.
Do you have any advice on how to like get the most out of a mentorship relationship?
Where a lot of people get stuck when they're a mentee, well, number one, why would they ever bother me?
I'm sorry.
No, stay.
I'm just being annoying and I'm just asking for things and I'm gonna sound desperate. You can get all of that out of your head by realizing that it's my job to provide value to somebody first. And I want to introduce something that's called the Benjamin Franklin effect. There is a technique that Benjamin Franklin used to build a relationship with his political adversaries. He would ask them if he could borrow a book, which then gave him the opportunity to follow up and thank them for what they did, which would then start a much more cordial, friendly conversation, which would then develop a relationship.
I asked you to do 3. How many did you do?
47.
By asking them for some form of advice, if you report back with results, you've now provided value to them. And then ask the next question. But what if I don't know what I'm supposed to ask? Think to yourself, here's where I am now, here's where I want to go next, and here's what's stopping me from getting there. The what's stopping me from getting there is the question. And the more detailed you are, the more they can be helpful. Don't take the approach of, can you give me advice and tell me what to do? This is a trap that people fall into all the time. This is what I call the expert approach. I teach what's called the journalist approach. Instead of tell me what to do, you tell me when you were in a similar situation that I am now, how did you solve it? You're gonna get amazing advice in return that you can then listen to, take action on, get results, come back, report those results, and then ask the next question.
It's good to know when you are going into a mentor relationship that you don't ask for, what should I do?
There it is. I hope you found Zach's advice valuable. If you didn't, watch the video again, over and over, because most people do take these missteps all the time, including myself. If you'd like to learn more from Zach, feel free to grab his free email guide where he walks you through a step-by-step plan on how to navigate the unknown and forge a career. To get that email guide, click the link. Thanks for watching and happy editing. Cheers.